Hi, first graders. Today we're going to read a little from Chapter 3, Ramona and Ribsy. One day after school, Henry Huggins, who lived in the next block, came over to play checkers with Beezus. His dog Ribsy came with him because Henry never went anywhere without Ribsy. Beezus liked Henry because she thought she had more sense than most girls, and the two often played checkers together. So far, Beezus had won 48 games and Henry had won 49, not counting the games Ramona had spoiled by tipping over the checkerboard. This afternoon, Beezus and Henry knelt on either side of the coffee table with the checkerboard between them. Ribsy lay on the rug near Henry and warily watched Ramona, who was wearing her rabbit ears and riding her tricycle around the room. "Your move," said Henry to Beezus. "I want to play," said Ramona, riding her tricycle up to the coffee table and shaking her head to make her ears flop. Ribsy got up and moved to a corner where he lay down with his nose on his paws to watch Ramona. "You're too little," said Beezus, as she moved a checker. "Besides, only two can play checkers." "We could play Twiddlywinks," said Ramona. "I know how to play Tiddlywinks." Beezus did not answer. Her mind was on the game as she watched Henry's move very carefully. "I said we could play Twiddlywinks," yelled Ramona. Beezus looked up from the checkerboard. "Ramona, you stop bothering us," she said in her most severest voice. Ramona scowled and pedaled backwards away from the table while Beezus returned to her game and studied the board. She had to be careful because Henry had already captured half her checkers. "Let's see," she thought. "I could move from here to there. No, that wouldn't work because then he could. But if I move from there to there, yes, that was it." Beezus lifted her hand to pick up the checker. At that instant, Ramona pedaled as fast as she could toward the coffee table. Crash! The front wheel of Ramona's tricycle rammed into the table. Checkers bounced into the air and showered over the table, falling to the floor and rolling across the rug. "There," said Ramona, and calmly pedaled away. "Hey!" protested Henry. "Mother!" Beezus called. "Ramona's bothering us." Wiping her hands on her apron, Mother came out of the kitchen. "Ramona, you know you're not supposed to bother Henry and Beezus when they're playing checkers. Now go to your room and stay there until you are able to behave yourself." "No," said Ramona. "I don't have anybody to play with me, and I want Beezus and Henry to play with me." "You heard me." Mother lifted Ramona off the tricycle. "I'll bet she has a tantrum," thought Beezus as she picked up the checkers. "No!" screamed Ramona. "Ramona," said Mother in a warning voice, "I'm going to count to 10. Ramona threw herself on the floor and kicked and screamed. 1, 2, began Mother. Ramona went on kicking and screaming until Mother counted to 7. Then she lay still on the floor, watching to see if Mother really meant what she said. 8, 9, said Mother. Ramona got to her feet, ran into the bedroom, and slammed the door. Mother returned to the kitchen, and Beezus and Henry started a new game as if nothing had happened. Tantrums were not unusual in the Quimby household. Even Henry knew that. In a few minutes, Beezus heard Ramona open the door. "Now can I come out?" she called. "Can you stop bothering Beezus and Henry?" Mother asked from the kitchen. "No," and she shut the door. Not more than 1 minute later, Ramona opened the door and came into the living room. I can stop bothering," she said with a sulky look on her face, and Beezus could see she was still cross because she had been punished. "That's good," called Mother. "Come here and I'll give you a cookie." Seeing Ramona go into the kitchen, Ribsy sat up, scratched, and trotted after her. Although Ribsy did not trust Ramona, he was always interested in what went on in the kitchen. "I hope she stays in the kitchen," thought Beezus as she picked up a checker and skipped from here to there and captured 2 of Henry's men. The game became so exciting that Beezus almost forgot about Ramona. At the same time, she was vaguely aware of scuffling sounds in the hall. Then she heard the jingle of Ribsy's license tags and the click of the claws on hardwood floor. Ribsy gave a short bark. Then the bathroom door slammed. "I wonder what Ramona is doing," thought Beezus as she captured another checker, but didn't much care as long as Ramona did not interrupt the game. "Let me in!" screamed Ramona from the hall. "Let me in the bathroom!" "Ramona, who are you talking to?" asked Mother as she went into the hall. "Ribsy," said Ramona, and beat on the door with her fist. Ribsy began to bark. From behind the bathroom door, his barks made a hollow, echoing sound. Puzzled, Henry looked at Beezus. "Ribsy's in the bathroom?" Henry decided he had better investigate. Reluctantly, Beezus left the game and followed him into the hall. "Open a door and let him out," said Mother. "I can't," shouted Ramona angrily, above Ribsy's furious barks. "The bad old dog went and locked the door." "Oh, stop pretending." Beezus was exasperated with Ramona for interrupting the game a second time. It was too bad that a girl couldn't have a friend over for a game of checkers without her little sister spoiling all the fun. "I'm not pretending," screamed Ramona, clinging to the doorknob while Ribsy barked and scratched at the other side of the door. "Ramona," Mother's voice was stern, "let that dog out." I can't, screamed Ramona, rattling the bathroom door. The bad old dog walked me out. Nonsense, dogs can't lock doors, scolded Mother. Now open that door and let him out. Ramona began to sob, and Ribsy barked louder. Ramona gave the door a good hard kick. Oh, for Pete's sake, muttered Henry. Ramona, I am very cross with you, said Mother. She pried Ramona's fingers loose and started to open the door. The knob would not turn. That's strange, she remarked, and rattled the door herself. Then she hit the door with her fist to see if it might be stuck. The door did not budge. There was no doubt about it. The bathroom door was locked. But how could it be locked? Henry asked. I told you, Ribsy walked it, Ramona shouted. Don't be silly, said Beezus impatiently. Now how on earth, began Mother in a puzzled voice, and then she interrupted herself. Do you suppose when Ribsy was pawing at the door, he bumped against the button in the center of the knob and really did lock the door? Of course, that's exactly what must have happened. A dog that locked the bathroom door? That Ribsy, thought Beezus. He's always getting into trouble, and now he's locked the Quimbies out of their own bathroom. I told you he walked the door, Ramona said. Yes, but what was my dog doing in the bathroom in the first place? Henry demanded. I put him there, said Ramona. Ramona Quimby. Even Mother sounded exasperated. Sometimes I don't know what gets into you. You know dogs don't belong in the bathroom. Now go to your room and stay there until I tell you to come out. Yes, but, Ramona began. I don't want to have to speak to you again. It was unusual for Mother to be as stern as this. Still crying, Ramona went into her room, which was next to the bathroom. Since Mother had not told her to close the door, Ramona stood just inside and waited to see what would happen next. Where's the key? Beezus asked. I don't know, answered Mother. I don't remember we even had a key. But there's a keyhole, said Beezus. There must be a key. Ribsy, be quiet, ordered Henry. We'll get you out. But Ribsy only barked harder, and his barks echoed and re-echoed around the small room. No one gave us a key to the bathroom when we rented the house, explained Mother. And when Ramona first learned to walk, we fastened the button down with Scotch tape so she couldn't lock herself in. You did? Ramona, fascinated with this bit of information about herself, stopped crying and leaned out into the hall. How big was I then? No one bothered to answer her. We've got to get Ribsy out of the bathroom, said Beezus. Yes, agreed Mother, but how? Tomorrow we're going to finish chapter 3 and see how do they get Ribsy out of the bathroom. See you tomorrow.